Hello my dear students, in this lecture we are going to see psychometry, and basically in this lecture we are going to see introduction to psychometry and basic definitions used in psychometry. Now psychometry is nothing but it is a study of air plus vapor mixture present in atmosphere. Right, we can say psychometry means it is a study of air plus vapor mixture present in atmosphere. Now if you talk about atmosphere, let us consider this is my atmosphere, right? In this atmosphere there will be a dry air, as well as there will be a water vapor, means atmosphere is a mixture of air and vapor, right? And this dry air will be having dry air properties, that is mass of air, pressure of air, right? Mass of air, pressure of air. And water vapor will be having water vapor properties like mass of vapor, pressure of vapor, right? Likewise. And my dear students, the total mass in the atmosphere is nothing but mass of air plus mass of vapor, that we can directly say, because it is a mixture of dry air and water vapor, right? Now, and as per Dalton's partial pressure law, we can say, as per Dalton's partial pressure law, we can say the atmospheric pressure, which is nothing but total pressure, is nothing but pressure of air plus pressure of vapor present in the dry air, right? Therefore, the atmospheric pressure is pressure of air plus pressure of vapor. This is very important, right? Atmospheric pressure is nothing but it is a pressure of air plus pressure of vapor. This is required letter. And total mass is nothing but mass of air plus mass of vapor. Now from this we can say the atmospheric pressure, which is nothing but summation of air pressure and vapor pressure. Therefore atmospheric pressure must be more than air pressure, and this atmospheric pressure must be more than vapor pressure also. Now as this atmospheric air or atmosphere contains dry air as well as water vapor, let us draw TS diagram, right? We will draw temperature versus entropy diagram for this. Temperature versus entropy diagram. Now my dear students, there will be liquid vapor dome. Now on this left side of liquid vapor dome there will be only liquid state, therefore here there will be only liquid state. And on right side of this liquid vapor dome there will be only vapor state, that is superheated state, right? And in between this dome there will be a phase change, that is there will be a liquid plus vapor state, right? In between there will be a liquid plus vapor state, right? Now, and in this liquid vapor dome, that is liquid plus vapor state, there will be a phase change, right? Here there will be a phase change, and during phase change temperature as well as pressure remains constant. We can say during phase change, this is important, both temperature as well as pressure remains constant. And during phase change the pressure is called vapor pressure, or also called saturation pressure, and the temperature is called saturation temperature, right? So let us understand this phase change, right? Now here let us say there is a phase change. During this phase change the pressure will be vapor pressure, and temperature will be saturation temperature, and my dear students, corresponding every vapor pressure there is always saturation temperature, or we can say the vapor pressure is also called, if it is a phase change, this vapor pressure is also called saturation pressure. That means we can say corresponding every saturation pressure there is always saturation temperature, or corresponding to every saturation temperature there is always saturation pressure, right? And as saturation pressure increases saturation temperature also increases, and vice versa, means as saturation pressure decreases saturation temperature also decreases, likewise. Now my dear students, and the condition of vapor present in the atmosphere is such that the atmospheric temperature is somewhere here, The atmospheric temperature is somewhere here. That means the atmospheric temperature is more than saturation temperature. Atmospheric temperature is more than saturation temperature. Therefore, the water molecules present in air are in superheated state. See here, it is superheated state or vapor state, because the water molecules present in air will be having atmospheric temperature, and the atmospheric temperature is more than saturation temperature, that is phase change temperature. Means already there is a phase change, and the water molecules in the air are present in superheated state, means it is a vapor state, right? Therefore we can use gas properties, that is ideal gas properties. Therefore whatever may be the atmosphere, let us say this is the atmosphere having mixture of air, that is dry air, we can say dry air, and vapor, water vapor, right? Now both are in superheated state, therefore we are considering this as a gas, and we are using ideal gas properties. That is, for gas we can say PV is equal to mRT. This ideal gas equation you can use, right? Now here in this ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to mRT, let us define the notations. Here P is absolute pressure, we can say P is absolute pressure in, we can say Pascal, or let us say in kilopascal. Let us use in Newton per meter square, that is Pascal, or let us use in kilopascal, that is kilonewton per meter square. Now V is volume, V is volume of that system, which is nothing but meter cube, unit is meter cube. M is mass, mass of that system in kg, right? R is gas constant, R is called gas constant. Now this gas constant, which is R, which is nothing but difference between specific heat, that is Cp minus Cv. This gas constant is difference between specific heats, that is Cp minus Cv, which is nothing but universal gas constant R bar divided by molecular weight m, right? Here R bar is universal gas constant, R bar is universal gas constant, right? That means the value of R bar is always constant, which is nothing but 8.314 kilojoule per kilomole Kelvin, which is nothing but kilo will get cancelled, joule per mole Kelvin. This is the value of R bar, and it is always constant. And here Cp is nothing but specific heat at constant pressure, and Cv is specific heat at constant volume. Now these values you must know, these notations you must know, because these are notations from basic thermodynamics, right? And the unit of R bar, or sorry R, is kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Kilojoule per kg Kelvin is the unit of R, right? Which is nothing but gas constant, which is nothing but difference between specific heats or universal gas constant divided by molecular weight. And T is temperature, T is temperature of that system in Kelvin. This temperature is used in Kelvin, right? This is nothing but ideal gas equation. This PV is equal to mRT is also called ideal gas equation, and this equation we can use here because here in atmosphere both air as well as vapor are present in superheated state or gaseous state. Now here this R is R bar by M. This M is nothing but molecular weight. Capital M is nothing but molecular weight. Molecular weight of that gas. Now let us define some definitions used in psychrometry. The first definition we will use is specific humidity. Specific humidity. So make a note of specific humidity. Specific humidity is also called humidity ratio. It is also called humidity ratio, and it is represented by letter omega. Specific humidity or humidity ratio is represented by letter omega. Now, this specific humidity or humidity ratio is defined as ratio of mass of vapor present in air to the mass of dry air. Now, we have already seen that, let us say this is the atmosphere. Now, in this atmosphere, there will be a dry air, as well as there will be a water vapor. Atmosphere is a mixture of dry air and water vapor. Therefore, this dry air will be having mass of air, and water vapor will be having mass of vapor. And this specific humidity is a ratio of mass of vapor to the mass of dry air present in the atmosphere. Means it is a ratio of kg of vapor to the kg of dry air present in the atmosphere, right? Now let us simplify this definition. Now this omega is nothing but mass of vapor divided by mass of dry air. Now as here this water vapor as well as air are in superheated state, means they are in gaseous state, therefore ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to MRT, is valid. Now use this ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to MRT, separately for vapor as well as air. Now if I use this ideal gas equation for vapor as well as air, now for this dry air there will be a pressure of air. We can say the properties will be like this: for this dry air, mass of dry air, pressure of dry air, now as well as gas constant of dry air, right? And for water vapor, there will be a mass of vapor, pressure of vapor, and gas constant of vapor. There will be a gas constant of vapor. But my dear students, this atmospheric, let us say this is a container. This container will be having same temperature and same volume, means the volume for both will be same as well as temperature for both will be same. That is, temperature is T for air as well as vapor, and volume will be V for air as well as vapor. Now let us use this ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to MRT, and use this ideal gas equation separately for vapor as well as air. Now for air, if I write for air, I can write pressure of air into volume is equal to mass of air, gas constant of air into temperature. Therefore, we can say mass of air will be equal to pressure of air into volume divided by gas constant of air divided by into temperature. Right. This is how mass of air we can calculate. Similarly, we can use the same ideal gas equation for vapor also. That is, pressure of vapor into volume is equal to mass of vapor, R of vapor into temperature. Therefore, mass of vapor will be equal to pressure of vapor into volume divided by R of vapor into temperature. Now, use this mass of air and mass of vapor in specific humidity formula. Now, let us put them in specific humidity formula. Right. Then, the specific humidity formula will become like specific humidity, which is nothing but mass of vapor divided by mass of air. Therefore, specific humidity is mass of vapor is nothing but pressure of vapor into volume divided by gas constant of vapor into temperature, whole divided by now pressure of air into volume divided by R of air into temperature. Now my dear students, this R of air into temperature will go into the numerator, right? Now simplify, this is a school level mathematics now. Simplify this, therefore specific humidity is equal to PV into V divided by RV into T into RA into T divided by PA into V. Now here temperature and volume will get cancelled, right? So cancel them, temperature, volume will get cancelled, and the equation will become specific humidity or humidity ratio is nothing but pressure of vapor divided by pressure of air into R of air divided by R of vapor. This is how we can write. Now this specific humidity, we have derived that R of air divided by R of vapor into pressure of vapor divided by pressure of air. Now let us use this and let us simplify this. Let us simplify this. Now my dear students, we know that the gas constant is nothing but universal gas constant R bar divided by molecular weight, right? Therefore we can say R of air is nothing but universal gas constant divided by molecular weight of air, and R of vapor is universal gas constant divided by molecular weight of vapor. So let us use here. Therefore, specific humidity omega is equal to R of air is R bar divided by molecular weight of air divided by R of vapor is R bar divided by molecular weight of vapor into pressure of vapor divided by pressure of air. Now here this R bar and R bar will get cancelled, and this molecular weight of vapor will go into the numerator. This is a school level mathematics. Therefore, omega specific humidity is nothing but molecular weight of vapor divided by molecular weight of air into pressure of vapor divided by pressure of air. finally we will get this result. And my dear students, you must know that the molecular weight of vapor is 18 and molecular weight of air is 29. If nothing is mentioned in the examination, these values you must remember. Now, vapor is nothing but water vapor. Water vapor means H2O, and molecular weight of H2 is 2. That is, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1, and there are 2 hydrogens, means 1 plus 1, 2. And oxygen, atomic mass of oxygen is 16, that is 18. Therefore, molecular weight of vapor becomes 18, right? And similarly, molecular weight of air is 29. So put here values. Therefore, specific humidity or humidity ratio is nothing but molecular weight of vapor is 18 divided by molecular weight of air is 29 into PV divided by PA, and this ratio becomes 0.622 PV divided by PA. PV is vapor pressure and PA is air pressure, right? Pressure of dry air. Now, already we have seen Dalton's partial pressure law, that is total pressure, which is also called atmospheric pressure, is nothing but air pressure plus vapor pressure. So from this we can say air pressure is atmospheric pressure minus vapor pressure. So let us substitute this air pressure as atmospheric pressure minus vapor pressure in this formula. Therefore, this specific humidity, which is nothing but mass of vapor divided by mass of air into PV divided by PA, is nothing but 0.622 PV divided by P atmosphere minus PV. This formula you must remember for examination. This is very much important formula for solving the numericals. That is specific humidity. This formula you must remember, my dear students. That is, the formula is specific humidity is 0.622 PV divided by P atmosphere minus PV vapor pressure, right? And atmospheric pressure. This atmospheric pressure is also called total pressure. The second definition is relative humidity. Relative humidity. Now, this relative humidity is also called RH or represented by letter phi. Now, this relative humidity is a comparison of actual mass of vapor to the maximum possible mass of vapor in a air. Now, every air has got some capacity to hold water molecules. The maximum amount of water molecules the air can hold is called saturation condition. Let us consider this is the atmosphere. Let us consider this is the atmosphere. Now, atmosphere we have already seen, it is a mixture of dry air. It is a mixture of dry air and water vapor. Let us say the mass of dry air is ma and mass of water vapor is mv. Right. Now, mv is actual mass of water vapor present in a atmosphere, but this atmosphere is not yet saturated. We can add more water molecules in this atmosphere. Now, the maximum amount of water molecules in the air is called saturation condition. That is, the maximum vapor mass present in the atmosphere is called saturation mass of that vapor, right? Now, saturation condition is nothing but regarding to vapor only. The maximum vapor mass is called saturation mass and the actual mass is mv, right? Now, this relative humidity is nothing but ratio of actual mass of vapor present in the atmosphere to the maximum carrying capacity of the atmosphere, that is saturation mass, right? Means it is a comparison of actual mass to the maximum capacity of the atmosphere to hold the water molecules. Now here it is a comparison of vapor to the vapor. It is the actual vapor present divided by maximum possible carrying capacity of the atmosphere for the vapor, right? Now both are vapor. Here it is a limiting condition of vapor present in the atmosphere, that is msat, and actual is mv. Therefore, and both are in vapor state. Therefore, we can use PV is equal to mRT. From this, m is nothing but PV divided by RT, and both are vapor. Therefore, mass V, mv, we can say PV, pressure of vapor, volume divided by R of vapor into temperature, right? And msat, corresponding to saturation mass, there will be a saturation pressure. Corresponding to this saturation mass, there will be a saturation pressure. Therefore, there will be P sat V divided by RV, vapor, it is a vapor only, RVT, right? Therefore, phi we can write as mv is nothing but PVV divided by RVT whole divided by Psat V divided by RVT. Now here volume will get cancelled, RVT will get cancelled. The ratio will remain phi is equal to PV divided by Psat, right? Therefore, this relative humidity phi is a mass of vapor to the saturation mass of vapor, which is nothing but pressure of vapor to the saturation pressure of vapor, right? It is a vapor comparison. Actual pressure of vapor divided by maximum possible pressure of vapor. Now this Psat, saturation pressure of vapor, is nothing but maximum possible vapor pressure. That means we can say vapor pressure is always less than or equal to Psat. Vapor pressure is always less than or equal to Psat. Therefore, relative humidity is always less than or equal to 1, right? And always it is expressed in percentage. That is, this relative humidity varies from 0% to 100%. Now, my dear students, you must remember that at saturation condition, the maximum water molecules are present in the atmosphere, right? We can say saturation condition is nothing but the mass of vapor becomes equal to maximum vapor mass, which is nothing but saturation mass for the vapor, and pressure of vapor becomes equal to Psat at saturation condition, right? This is called saturation condition. Now, my dear students, this relative humidity is nothing but mass of vapor divided by msat, which is nothing but pressure of vapor divided by Psat, right? Now, whenever this relative humidity is 0%, that means it is complete dry air. It is complete dry air. That is, there is no water molecule in the air. That is, no vapor in the air. That is, mass of vapor is 0 or pressure of vapor is 0, right? And whenever this relative humidity is 100%, that means it is saturated condition. This condition is called saturated condition. Saturated condition. And the meaning of saturated condition is that mass of vapor becomes equal to msat or pressure of vapor becomes equal to Psat. This is the meaning of saturation condition. And my dear students, saturation condition is also called phase change. Saturation condition is also called phase change condition, right? At saturation condition, there is always phase change, and this pressure of vapor is always less than or equal to Psat. This is very important definition. Now, the third definition is degree of saturation. Third definition is degree of saturation. Degree of saturation is represented by mu. Now, degree of saturation is a ratio of specific humidity of air to the specific humidity under saturation condition, right? It is a specific humidity of air to the specific humidity under saturation condition, right? Now, specific humidity, we have already derived formula is 0.622 PV divided by P atmosphere minus PV. This formula we have derived. And at saturation condition, this vapor pressure becomes equal to Psat. So this omega sat or relative humidity under saturation condition becomes 0.622 Psat divided by P atmosphere minus Psat. So this degree of saturation mu, which is nothing but omega divided by omega sat, this becomes equal to 0.622 PV divided by P atmosphere minus PV, right, whole divided by 0.622 Psat divided by P atmosphere minus Psat. So my dear students, here 0.62 factor will get cancelled, right? This factor will get cancelled, right? Now the definition becomes equal to this degree of saturation mu is equal to PV divided by Psat, from numerator PV and from denominator Psat I am considering, and this P atmosphere minus Psat will go in the numerator into P atmosphere minus Psat whole divided by, here P atmosphere minus PV will go into denominator, P atmosphere minus PV. This is the definition of degree of saturation. Now let us find the values of this degree of saturation, right? Now My dear students, here this PV divided by Psat is nothing but relative humidity phi. Therefore, we can say this degree of saturation is equal to phi into P atmosphere minus Psat divided by P atmosphere minus PV. Right. Now, my dear students, whenever phi is 0%, whenever phi is 0%, means phi is 0, 0 into anything will become 0, then this degree of saturation will become 0. Whenever this phi is 100%, that is relative humidity is 100% means saturation condition. At saturation condition, PV becomes equal to Psat and phi is 1. Therefore, at this condition, PV becomes equal to Psat and phi is 1. Therefore, 1 into 1 is nothing but 1. Therefore, this degree of saturation is equal to 1. Means, whenever phi is 0%, degree of saturation will be 0. And phi is 100%, degree of saturation will be 1. Now, my dear students, this PV is always less than or equal to Psat. Right, PV is always less than or equal to Psat. Means here, this numerator will be less than this denominator. We can say P atmosphere minus Psat, P atmosphere minus Psat will be less than or equal to P atmosphere minus PV. Right or wrong? This numerator will be less than denominator. Now, whenever phi, let us say 50%, phi is 50%, then definitely PV is less than Psat. Right, PV is less than Psat. Therefore, here phi is 0.5 and this ratio will be less than 1. Right, because numerator is less than denominator. Therefore, this ratio will be less than 1. 0.5 into less than 1 means it is less than 0.5. Therefore, whenever phi is 50%, we can say this relative humidity mu is slightly less than 0.5. 0.5. Again, whenever phi is 80%, let us say 80%, then mu is, we can say, this degree of saturation is slightly less than 0.8, less than 0.8. Likewise, you can remember, whenever relative humidity is 0%, then degree of saturation will be 0. Whenever relative humidity is 100%, degree of saturation will be 1. Whenever relative humidity is 50%, then degree of saturation will be slightly less than 0.5. For 80% or 9, let us say for 90%, mu is slightly less than 0.9. Likewise, we can say. These are the three definitions which are used in psychometry. Thank you, dear students. In next lecture, we will define temperatures used in psychometry.